Good morning, everyone. This is Anne from Ödulcina Scrap. Today, it's a tutorial on how to create a cover for a junk journal that is not that big with 2 envelopes. So it will create pockets inside the cover at the front and the back of the journal. So I'm going to do the structure with you, and then there's going to be another video later this week with how to create the tassel. All right, to start with, we need to, I prefer coffee stained envelopes, and what I did is I glued 2, let's say you take 2 envelopes, doesn't matter if it's pointy or if it's like this one, like squarish. I just didn't have more of those already coffee stained. Just had those 2 and they were already glued, so I'll start with that. But just to show you, you would put one envelope inside the other one like that. So you would glue here, and then you could open like that, add some glue inside, and glue the flap. You can as well like fold it, cut here a line like that, and just leave like 1/2 inch or 3/4 inch and cut straight instead of having the triangle. But anyway, you're gonna cover that, so it doesn't really matter. But this is how you create your base. I prefer those kind because see, the opening here is not that big, although you could open it maybe bigger by folding the sides like that and glue them, which makes it bigger. Same for here. I can fold those sides, and it doesn't matter if they're not equal because you won't see both at the same time, right? But you can open to make it a little bit bigger. So this is what it looks like, and of course we need to hide this whole thing. So this is why I came up with the idea of putting a paper on top of it. So, and then some lace. So you can tear like here. I've been tearing the paper, and I used 3 papers actually. So let me do the same thing here. But in another example, I just cut to size the paper, and I did a sewing line all around. So it's a matter of choice. Okay, so I'll just try to tear a little bit straight, a straight line, which is not always easy, I can tell. But this is why if you're using different papers, you kind of do a collage, so it's easier that way. And I don't like to have the white showing, so I don't know if you listen to one of my tutorials in the past, I was talking about how to tear the paper. So if you don't want to see the white pulp, you need to, if it's on that size and you're right-handed like me, you need to pull by going at the back. And if you're on that side, you pull the big paper to you. So let's say this, my left side, my left hand pull back, and I'm tearing that way. Because you see this white, right? We don't want it. My preference. And it goes well too. Sometimes I just hold well, I give it an ankle, and I just tear like that slowly, and it works great too to tear the paper. Okay. Anyway, I have paper. Oh, I'll try. So this side I'm pushing. So if it works great, I can just use one piece like that. I think that's what I'm gonna do. There's only here that is a little bit too much. I'm gonna remove that. And I need to trim it a little bit more. So here like that. It's really easier to tear the paper when you have a good piece of paper to remove. When you're just working on the sides, it's a little bit hard sometimes. Okay. And I'm going to remove that part. Not enough here. How it looks. I am happy with that. So I'm gonna add distress the sides. I find it makes a better contrast than just plain. But honestly, without distress ink, that paper is so soft that it's I still like it. So if you're a beginner and you don't have distress ink yet, or not the good color, let's say you only have black, like you could just not put any distress ink on the sides. I tend to put ink, like distress ink, everywhere, but sometimes I surprise myself and I don't. Okay, so now I'm gonna glue this, and in order to glue, I'll just put a little line of glue all the side, and to left it a little bit puffy, I'm not adding any glue in the middle. I've tried that, and I'll just put some glue in the middle like that on the spine, and I'll just glue. So I concentrate on one side to start with, one corner, this, and now I give a press for the rest. So I'm just kind of gluing the sides, and I'm leaving the middle not glued, and it creates some, I don't know, it's more shabby chic. Now I'm gonna fold my envelope and just make sure that it's gluing in the middle. If I need more glue, I can add more glue. Let's see here, a little bit, just to make sure it holds well. This side here, it looks like I need a little bit of glue here. All right, look at that. I already like it. It could just be that. All right, what I'm gonna use is, I'm gonna use in the kit for kids, the vintage kids, 9 small fits well on a page, and there was only a place at the top. This is why I created a ticket line. But then when I wanted the bigger, they fit 6 by page. So, and I had 9, so I had half of a page empty. And what I did is I took my favorite 3, I just have those 2 with me, and my favorite 3, and those I added some not coats, because here it just says Paris with numbers. Here it's magic. Magic is something you make. And the other one I need to show you. Hold on, I'm gonna find it. Okay, so the third one is that cute baby with the safety pin, and I've added La vie en rose, which is an expression in French. And if we translate that expression, is seeing life through pink glasses. Anyway, seeing life in pink, kind of. So this is what it means. All right, so I'm gonna use La vie en rose, that cute baby, and on the cover. And of course, we need to layer laces and everything. Because it's a baby, I found I have this cute fabric, which is an old pillowcase. So I didn't have to print on fabric for that one. And I have that polka dot tool that I think I could use. It's so soft and it makes me think about babies. I don't know. I don't want to put too much shabby chic with babies for that one. So I think I'm going to stick with those, with the fabric and the polka dot. So let's see what I can do. The polka dot could be for the side. So I'm gonna tear a portion of it. I tend to do a whole line, even if I don't need the line. I'm gonna use it in other projects anyway. Oh boy, not straight at all. And I love to kind of pull out some of the threads, so it creates like an edge doesn't show like if I cut it. Okay, so this could be like that. And at the same time, I love putting fabric there, or a piece of chiffon silk or sari silk, because it will, when I'll use the thread for the signature, it won't damage the paper. It's gonna be more robust. So I can start with this and putting some tulle. So the tulle, let's say I open that. This is, you see me doing the process. The only thing that I decided before starting this video is I grabbed the polka dot tulle and I grabbed this pillowcase. Okay, I'm gonna go with a piece that is a little bit bigger, and I cut it like somehow not straight. It's a start. Okay, I don't want it to cover the whole thing, so let me zoom a little bit more. It could cover the whole thing, but I think I just wanted to show up somewhere. So let's say if I do this, it's too long, so I'll remove a portion here. And these pieces are good for snippets, so there's no waste here. There's never any waste. All right, that could look like that. And then if I place that on top, that will help me hold the whole thing. Is it the good side? I can have the faded version too, but it shows that it's the wrong side. I can put it under it too. I always try different options. Which one? No, it looks weird to have polka dot and stripes. So definitively this will go this way. And this will come here. I wonder if I use a smaller one, if it's better. I think so. Okay, so La Vie en Rose, I don't have it in the smaller version because as I explained to you, it was just to fill a gap. So let me see. Those are some that are in the kit. Okay, so I have those two that I love. And I think I'm gonna go with that little girl, actually. So I need to ink the sides. Now maybe adding another lace there, so I don't know if I want to. Yeah, I think I'm gonna add a lace all around. Looks like it might look good. I'll try. The worst that can happen is that I don't like and I trim it. Because we want to add some layers. It makes the whole difference when you add a couple. If you just put one, it's kind of maybe not enough. And just be sure that you're gluing the good side. So I'm looking, this is the good side, so I'm placing it correctly. Because what a waste if we glue them on the wrong side. So far it looks like that, and I'm gonna add measure and place. And one last. I prefer to cut them a little bit longer, and when they're gonna be glued well, I'm gonna trim them. So this kind of lace, it's not easy to glue. So I've put enough glue, and the trick is to wait 2-3 minutes. So during that time, while I'm waiting for this to kind of dry, it dries fast, but you still need to give it a couple of seconds or a minute or two. I'm gonna think about what next. So here on that side, I won't be gluing the whole tool. Of course, I can put a dot of glue behind every dot, and it would hold well, but I can add something here, like a little cluster of something, and I could put glue there. So this is what I think I'm gonna do. I can use this piece of scrap from herbal tea. I'll fold it a couple of times just to give it some folds. This like that. How about that? And then I can use the ticket. So why not using the baby here? Oh, I found another pair of scissors. And it's not the tearing one, but I kind of like it. Look at that. So if I ink the sides, I'm using that. That would be something like that. And now I can maybe add a little piece of lace here. So this would work. Okay, now this must be dry. Yeah, I can see it's holding well now. Okay, so now I'm gonna trim the lace so my corners look okay. How about that? And if I place it here, I still need to add layers, but it's a good base. So I prepare everything, but I'm not gluing yet. I still need to figure out what I'm gonna do. Like if I take that, this is half of my book. If you want, if you need to visualize more, this is my cover. So this is a trick you can do yourself, is to put a paper like that so you can focus on just that half to really see how it looks like. I love the roses. I love the polka dot. I'm missing something here, so maybe I should just put cotton. I like it. Oh boy, way too long. And this piece, it's just, you know, a white sewing bias that I washed. I've put in the washing machine and in the dryer. The only problem with that kind of fabric is that it's bias, so you cannot cut into two. Like if I try, because it's too big, if I try to tear, it's trimming on the sides. So that's why I've cut it instead. But there's already lots of folds, so I can just glue it like that, maybe add a button or two, and or another piece of lace, and that would be it. Now here I can add laces again. Maybe I can start with a little knot here. Yeah, I like those sewing line between two pieces of chiffon silk or sari silk. It looks like a knot, and I love them. So maybe I can put something here like that, and laces. Okay, so I have this leftover. So either I use a little piece here. Yeah. Let me trim it. It's hard the first time we trim an applique like that. But really, to make the most out of your appliques, you'll need to trim them from time to time. You keep every pieces, they're gonna be used somewhere else. But now maybe I can place that. This is where I start playing, or I cut more. Maybe I'm going to trim that leaf. Yeah, because it goes on my design. I'm going to keep it for another project. You never know. I know it goes on my design, so I'm gonna trim the little fabric here, transparent fabric, just to make sure it doesn't remove some of the highlights. Oh, it can go on the sides too. I'll glue it. And now I can cut it a little bit with that. What about something like this? You have some white, you have some pink. Yeah, I like that. Okay, so now I'm pretty much ready to glue. So this, I don't mind. I can put it aside. I'll figure out where to place it. The most important is to place my tool, my polka dot tool, place my fabric in the middle to the correct place. And then place my little girl as I wish. Now, if you want to put a closure, let's say you want a sari silk as a closure, but you don't want it to cut the design, it's the time right now to kind of glue it at the back like that. And I think I'm gonna do that just to give you the idea as well. I don't think about it all the time, so that's why I'm not even doing that myself most of the time. And to cut a little bit everything, the off-white and the pink, I'm gonna use an off-white chiffon silk. My preferred size is 30 inches of chiffon silk or sari silk or any yarn, and you can have a knot in the middle because look at how it's going to look like. So this is what I'm going to do, measure that and put a knot in the middle, probably, because sometimes they don't, you have a hard time to find 36 inches without any knots. All right, so I have my piece and I'm gonna put it behind. So this way I'll have a closure for this book. Okay, so it's now time to start gluing. It's the most delicate operation, and I'm placing everything. This will be in the middle. This will go like that. It's all good. Okay, so I have two choices. I could just glue or use the sewing machine. And in this case, I think because I have the sari silk, I'm gonna stitch the right in the middle here, just one line. And I'm gonna stitch just the sides here. So it won't close the envelopes, but it's gonna be really secure. So I'm gonna remove that. I'll just go do some stitching and I'll come back. You can use glue, but I love stitching. So let me go back. So I am back. I did one line right in the middle and I did just a little stitch on both sides. So when you look inside, this will be hidden with the signature, and this I will add something here to decorate anyway, and even if I don't, it doesn't look bad. So when I'm closing, it will look like that. And I had it a little bit longer than 36 inches. That's why mine are, I think they're 4 inches longer. I'll trim them back. So now I need to glue. Maybe my polka dot isn't glued, but it will be glued when I'm gonna add this little girl here. The glue will go through, so I don't care. Even for that, I think I'll just leave it like that. It won't fall down. With time, it might roll a little bit, but it will just add more characters to the journal. So I'll just leave it like that, honestly. And now I can glue that little girl. And before that, I'll just make sure that I place my I moved it and I don't even remember how it was placed. I'll just make sure it's placed correctly. I love to give it a little angle for the girl. Maybe a little bit higher than too low. Like that, I think I like. I can use fabric tack, but honestly, I discovered that the art glitter glue is really strong, even on fabric. So I've started using that one more and more. I just put a little bit more in quantity just because I have the tool, so the glue needs to pass through. So I'm gonna glue it here. And again, putting maybe a book for a minute or two would help. So I'm gonna do that. Okay, so I removed my book and it's all flat and dry. So now I can place this applique. Again, I'm gonna use my glitter art. No, my art glitter glue. What I like about this art glitter glue is, see how I can put just a small amount of glue. Well, maybe I've put a little bit too much here, but I can be really precise compared to fabric tack or the tacky glue, which are more dense and you cannot put small amounts. Okay, I'm gonna try to place that without missing. I messed up. Okay, placing it and removing the glue to my best. And in order to glue the other side, I'm gonna glue it while the journal cover is closed, because if you glue it flat, it might be too tight. And here I'm gonna glue the fabric too under it. Put a little bit of pressure for a couple of seconds. All right, this is done. Now I have this here. Just need to figure out how I want to place it. Do I want to show more of this or not at all of the Polaroid? I love the Polaroid frame, so I want to show that it's larger here. So I think I'm gonna go like this. I'm gonna lift half of it, put a bunch of glue, because this is fabric and I want it to hold well, and glue it down. Now I'm gonna go do the other half. And it's time to place a little bit, play a little bit with your folds. You can, when you have the glue in place, you can create some folds as well to give it some dimension, as you can see, like that. And then I can trim, whoops, I can trim a little bit, some ankles. This is okay. Maybe I can add some buttons, or, oh yeah, I had this to place. So sometimes I just try between two, which one I prefer. I think I'm gonna go with that one, and I'm gonna leave it. I prefer cutting it down later than having it too short and then wishing it would be bigger. What about like that? I think I'm gonna leave that little hanging, that little piece hanging, and I'll just glue a little bit here for this part. I'll put my finger, press for a few seconds, just to make sure it dries at the good position. Okay, so here I need to find some buttons, but I don't have them with me. So while I'm doing this video, I'm gonna go do here what I wanted to do for this part. So this piece here will hold well the tulle of this side, and maybe I'll add some glue dots on a couple of them at the top, or add a little piece of lace. Yeah, probably adding a little bit of lace there. So let's start. I'm gonna put some glue. And this will come here, so I'll put more glue on that one. Again, it needs to go through the tool. And I can hold like that. It's a smaller piece, so I can hold a few seconds like that. Or put a book while I'm looking for... Yeah, I'll put a book while I'm looking for my buttons. Okay, so it's all dry, and I've been looking for my buttons and a piece of lace in Crafty Me shop inventory that she sent me, part of the design team project. So she gave me, she included some mother pearl button that seems really vintagey, and this is a piece of the lace, the vintage lace. Those vintage laces, look at that. She's the only one to have some like that. She bought a whole company that closed, and that machine to do the lace like stopped working in the 1980. So they are at least 40 some years that they do not make any laces like that anymore. So you can't really find that on the market except if you go to Crafty Me shop. She's on Facebook. You look for Crafty Me shop, and she does a sale every Saturday. You need to join the group. That's the only way you can buy. Okay, so back here, I think, you know what, I'm gonna keep going on with that lace. I love it so much. This is the lace, and I just took a little portion of it here. So maybe I can use the leftover here with the tool. Yeah, this is, I think, what I'm gonna do. These nice lace, they're really cute, but if you use a long line of it, it's not cheap. So if you take bits of pieces like I'm doing, it feels to me like I'm getting the most out of it. So I'm going to trim a little bit the tool around, but I'm not throwing away anything. I'll keep it for another project, another snippet, or something where I need a little piece. So let me see how it can go. Do you like it? Maybe if I zoom, you'll see better. I like it that way. Okay, so let's add some glue. And it glues really, really well with the glitter art glue, so that's all you need. I know I can be repetitive for some of you who are following me since a while now, but there's so many new subscribers lately that, and junk journal is still something new, at least in Canada or in Quebec. So lots of people, like when I say I'm doing junk journals, they're like, what? They'd never heard that before. So we are still beginning that fantastic hobby. So anyway, if you're new to my channel, I welcome you. I'm so happy you found me. And I'm so happy to see comments from some of you who are following me since months now. This is always so great to have followers and see your comments and feeling the love. All right, these are the buttons that I took from Esme Crafty Me Shop pack. You either put 1 or 3, right? There's kind of a rule there. Just looking. And you can glue them like that. I would use Fabri-Tac though for that. Although I guess art glitter would work fine. But I prefer to put some thread in the middle. And I think I'm going to put pink thread. So let me do that and I'll come back. I am back. I did all my threads and now I'm going to glue them. And I'm trying to place the thread in an angle and not all aligned. So I'm going to try to space them the same, but not aligning the holes or the thread. Maybe it's easier to put directly on my button. How it looks like. I love it. Okay, so this would be it for the cover, I think. I could add something else here, but I like it simple at the same time. You know, there's no ending. And the back, I totally like it with those vintage laces. Totally love it. We are just missing the tassel here, which will make a huge difference. So, come back to see my next video, which will be a tutorial on how to create the tassel. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.